Hey, hello guys, good morning to everyone, and welcome to IQ Civil Science Academy, a great coach transforms life. So, today's topic is about the contribution of Indian women in science, and it will be explained by Dr. Sachin Kadam, that is me, a faculty at IQ Civil Science Academy. So this is about IQ Civil Science Academy. We are a institute in Guwahati that has worked with government of Assam in many projects. For example, in 2021 we gave training to 60 meritorious students in Assam Administrative Staff College. In 2019 to 20, we helped Directorate of Welfare of Tea and ex-tea garden tribes with the help of Assam Administrative Training Institute. In 2019-20, we also gave 50 meritorious student training, and in 18-19 as well. So this is about IQ Civil Science Academies projects done with Government of Assam. This is our rating on Google. It is more than 4.9 star. That is very unique and rare for a civil services institute. This is elite panel of faculties from Delhi, from Sunil Jha sir to Nitin Kumar sir, from Sachin Kadam sir to Vikram Singh sir. If you are planning to get administration in our offline or online batch, just get in touch with Mr. Anuj Singh sir, our director, Mr. Vishal Sharma, admission manager, and Anuradha Saikia, front officer. Then you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel. जिस channel पे आप ये video देख रहे हो, so you need to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are starting our new batches online and offline from 29th August and from 6th September. So what you need to do, you just need to call on one of these numbers, and get your seat registered, get your admission registered either online or offline for 29th and 6th September batches. So today's topic is women in science. So guys, देखो, on 22nd August, there was one beautiful editorial or article कि what exactly women are doing in the field of science, how the contribution of women in the field of science is increasing or decreasing. There is a beautiful analysis. Now this article that I am talking about, it is more important for your mains examination and nearly not important for your prelims, but definitely you will get few points for your prelims as well. So इसमें आपको क्या करना है, कोई भी डाटा याद नहीं रखना, कुछ भी नहीं, जो जो पॉइंट याद रखने ना, आई विल टेल यू, यू विल ट्राई टू रिमेंबर देम. So why this article was there? Because Department of Science and Technology published one data, and according to that data, in last 2 decades, that is in 2001 to 10 and 2011 to 20, the percentage of women in research has increased by double, as well as good number of women are participating in postgraduate examinations. Fine. So what are the findings of this report published by Department of Science and Technology? Number one, women among researchers increased from 9% to 18.7%. That is, in 2015 only 9% women were contributing in the research, but today there are more than 18.7% women participating. That change has happened in only 3 years, from 15 to 18. A good number of participation of women till post graduate level. See, एक टाइम ऐसा था इंडिया में कि देयर वाज इट वाज वेरी रेयर कि women will go to the school, but now women are going to school, women are going to colleges, and they are also opting for postgraduates different courses. Okay, then there is a drop at the postdoctoral level. So the participation of women in postgraduate courses is big or large, but when it comes to postdoctoral level, that contribution drops. Then women in engineering, लेस देन 14.5%. यही तो इंजीनियरिंग करने वाले लड़कों का दर्द है ना, कि इंजीनियरिंग में लड़कियां होती ही नहीं है. बट सी, लेस देन 4.5% वुमेन इन इंजीनियरिंग, 22.5% women in natural science, and 24.5% in health. Even if you look around yourself, in your family or in your relatives, just see the families and relatives support which type of courses a woman should opt. दे विल से कि डॉक्टर इज अ गुड कोर्स, लड़कियों ने डॉक्टरी करनी चाहिए, डॉक्टर बनना चाहिए, लेक्चर बनना चाहिए, टीचर बनना चाहिए, बट दे विल नेवर सजेस्ट कि वुमेन शुड गो फॉर इंजीनियरिंग, इवन मेडिकल फील्ड में अगर आप देखोगे ना, देर आर डिफरेंट फील्ड्स, लाइक दे विल से कि यू शुड गो फॉर गायनेकोलॉजी और यू शुड गो फॉर ऑफ्थेल्मोलॉजी। मतलब ऐसे फील्ड या ऐसे स्ट्रीम्स मेडिकल के जहाँ पे एक तो फीमेल टू फीमेल पेशेंट आते हैं या फिर एफर्ट्स कम लगते हैं, डिसेंटली काम किया जा सकता है, ऐसे ही कोर्सेज को वुमन प्रेफर करती है। सो यू कैन सी दिस डाटा, दिस ट्रेंड, दिस टाइप ऑफ content is important for your mains answer writing, not at all important for your preliminary examination. We are going to next slide now. This is very important for your mains examination as well as a bit for your prelims. For example, in 2018, जो 2018 का ग्लोबल जेंडर गैप रिपोर्ट है, दिस रिपोर्ट puts India 108 out of 149 countries. See, India is a developing country. Our GDP is really good. We have a democracy and the level of education is increasing day by day. But our number out of 149 country, we are ahead of just 41 countries, and that is sad. We should be in at least top 50. So here we need to work. Global gender gap report, it shows that the gender inequality in India is very large. Then the 2019 All India Survey on Higher Education, which is normally done by the ASR, shows a significant lag in female participation at doctoral level. अभी हमने देखा the percentage of women is increasing in research, their percentage is increasing in post graduation, but their percentage in doctoral courses it is decreasing. Okay. अदर इश्यूज क्या है, लोनलीनेस ऑफ बीइंग एन आउटलायर इन मेल डोमेन। फीमेल ऐसे एरियाज है, ऐसे फील्ड को प्रेफर नहीं करती जहाँ पे मेल का डोमिनेंस है, मेल ज़्यादा है, वेयर बायसेस आर रैम्पेंट एंड गेटिंग वन सेल्फ हर्ट, अ कॉन्स्टेंट स्ट्रगल, ग्लास सीलिंग इफेक्ट। तो ये सब रीज़न है जिसकी वजह से डॉक्टरल जो लेवल्स है ना, वहाँ पे परसेंटेज ऑफ वुमन इज डिक्रीजिंग और गोइंग डाउन. Women scientists often have to shoulder a disproportionate burden of academic and housekeeping. It is a very big deal. Huh? See, if a female is working in a college or if she is working as a doctor, so she also need to manage her home. But if a male is working, so that male has nothing to do with the housekeeping, right? But female need to manage the house as well as job both. So when now remember, whether you are a teacher or a professor or a doctor, there you can divert your concentration to other works for a while. But when you are planning to become a scientist, you need to work on a particular project with a single mind and single vision. You cannot divert your resources like time, energy, concentration to any unproductive work. You need to focus completely on the project on which you are working. That is the reason कि women scientists are less. नहीं है ऐसा नहीं है, but the concentration or percentage of women scientists is going down. Okay. Before I go ahead, the two slides, what they told us, that the percentage of women in research and in postgraduate courses is increasing, but the percentage of women in postdoctoral courses or postdoctoral level is going down. This is one thing. Second, if you go through the different areas, so least women are in engineering, उससे ज़्यादा natural science और उससे भी ज़्यादा health में है. आपने देखा होगा nurse वगैरह mostly फीमेल ही होती है. देन हमने देखा that global gender gap report puts India at 108 rank in 2018. Even in All India Survey on Higher Education, there is a significant lag in female participation at doctoral level. And why it is happening? Because disproportionate burden of academic housekeeping. लेकिन ये problem होकर भी there are some women who proved themselves. For example, first is Tessie Thomas. I hope you heard about her. She is known as Missile Woman of India, like APJ Abdul Kalam is known as Missile Man of India. Tessie Thomas is known as Missile Woman of India. Then Soumya Swaminathan. You must have read many articles of Miss Soumya Swaminathan in The Hindu and in Indian Express, particularly related to the health, because she is working with WHO. Then Gagandeep Kang, Yan Kalai Selvi. We will go through each and every female, and Annapurni Subramanyam. So we'll see what are the contributions of these famous names. We are talking about current. If you go to the past, there are many women in history. They are freedom fighter, they are scientist, they are painter, they are doctor, they are advocate, so many things. But we are talking about the women who are contributing in different fields right now. Okay, so Tessie Thomas, she was born in 1963. She is an Indian scientist, and she is the Director General of Aeronautical Systems and former project director for Agni 5 missile in DRDO. So basically, she is working on the project called Agni 4. Sorry, Agni 4. I said Agni 5. Sorry for that. So she is working as a project director of Agni 4. She is also working as a director, Indian scientist and director for General of Aeronautical System, and she is working with DRDO. She is the first ever woman scientist to head a missile project in India. That's why we call her Missile Woman of India. Okay, let's go ahead. Tessie Thomas. She is the one Missile Woman of India, right? So those female or those girls who are watching my video, I request you, dream big, work hard to achieve that dream and become a great woman. You can. Okay, आपका भी नाम आएगा ऐसे. Then Soumya Swaminathan, she is born in 1959. She is an Indian pediatrician and clinical scientist. मतलब she is doctor as well as a scientist, and she is known for her research on tuberculosis and HIV. The biggest achievement of Miss Soumya Swaminathan was, since 2019, she is serving as a chief scientist at WHO. And if you are aware, in 2020 COVID-19 came, and the role or the activity of WHO has increased a lot. तो ऐसे crucial time में WHO की chief scientist के form में काम करना, it is a very big deal, it is a very big achievement for Soumya Swaminathan. Previously, from October 2017 to March 2019, she was the Deputy Director General of Programs at WHO. So, what you need to remember about Soumya Swaminathan, she is working as a scientist with WHO or World Health Organization, and she is the Soumya Swaminathan. Look at her face. उनके फेस से उनका इंटेलिजेंस, उनका कामनेस, एवरीथिंग रिफ्लेक्ट होता है कि नहीं? यस. Soumya Swaminathan. Then there is third Indian woman who is working in the field of virology. Here you can see Mrs. Gagandeep Kang. She is born in 1962. Here you can see she is an Indian microbiologist and virologist who is the professor in the Department of Gastrointestinal Science at the Christian Medical College, Vellore. And from 16 to 20, she was Executive Director of Translational Health Science and Technology Institute, Faridabad, which works under the Ministry of Science and Technology, Department of Biotechnology, and she mainly worked on the rotaviral vaccine. And for your information, we introduced rotavirus vaccine in our national immunization program, जिसे हम NIP कहते हैं. Would you like to see rotavirus vaccine? Now remember few things about rotavirus vaccine. This rotavirus vaccine is used against diarrhea, and diarrhea is the biggest killer of small newborn babies. Okay, diarrhea is the biggest killer of newborn babies. So उस डायरिया का जो causative agent है वायरस, the name of that virus is rotavirus, उसके अगेंस्ट वैक्सीन बनाने में किसने रोल प्ले किया है? गगनदीप कैंग ने, which is going to help many countries in the world, particularly developing and underdeveloped countries in tropical areas. Okay, so rotavirus vaccine, just remember it is for diarrhea. Okay, now rotavirus vaccine is used for diarrhea. This is important for your preliminary examination. Let's go ahead. What else Mrs. Gagandeep Kang achieved? So she also works on other enteric infections. So her work is mainly about the gastrointestinal tract and their consequences when children are infected in early life, sanitation and water safety. अब डायरिया किसकी वजह से होता है? डायरिया इज स्प्रेड, ये होता तो है रोटा वायरस की वजह से, बट इट स्प्रेड्स थ्रू infected water. She was awarded the prestigious Infosys Prize in life sciences in 2016 for her contribution to understanding the natural history of rotavirus and other infectious diseases. In 2019, she became the first Indian woman to be elected as a fellow of the Royal Society. जिस इसी रॉयल सोसाइटी के ना जे जगदीश चंद्र बोस जो हमारे साइंटिस्ट है ना, ही वॉज ऑल्सो मेंबर ऑफ द रॉयल सोसाइटी. हैविंग मेंबरशिप ऑफ रॉयल सोसाइटी इज वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट अचीवमेंट फॉर द साइंटिस्ट अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड, एंड she also got the Infosys prize in 2020 again. So sorry, she was the jury for the Infosys prize in 2020. So through this article or about Gagandeep Kang, what you need to remember, she worked for the rotavirus vaccine. UPSC will not ask you about Gagandeep Kang, but state services can ask you about Soumya Swaminathan. They can ask you about Tessie Thomas, and UPSC can ask about rotavirus vaccine. So it is a for diarrhea. Let's go ahead. She is the one Gagandeep Kang, virologist. Then next woman is Yan Kalai Selvi. She is an Indian senior electrochemical scientist. Now if you observe, Soumya Swaminathan, medical field, Gagandeep Kang, medical field, Tessie Thomas, engineering, and Kalai Selvi again in engineering. What it shows that women are not behind even in the field of engineering. What is needed is good opportunity. उनको जैसी कोई अच्छी opportunity मिलती है, they pass it with flying colors. Okay, so Yan Kalai Selvi is an Indian senior electrochemical scientist. On 7th August 2022, she came into limelight when she was appointed as the first woman Director General of CSIR. Okay, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. So Tessie Thomas, Project Director of Agni 4, Soumya Swaminathan, Chief Scientist with WHO, Gagandeep Kang, she is working in the field of virology, and Kalai Selvi, she is the Director General of CSIR. 2022 May, she became the Director General of Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. It is one of the most important organizations in India related to the science. She is the Yan Kalai Selvi. Proud of you, ma'am. Next is Annapurni Subramaniam. She is the Director of the Indian Institute of Astrophysics, Bangalore. Again, it is related to engineering. So see, the number of female in engineering 3 हो गए and number of female in the field of biology or medical 2 हो गए. So female are not behind in the field of engineering. And this Indian Institute of Astrophysics and Annapurni Subramaniam, she works on areas like star clusters, stellar evolution, and population in galaxies and Magellanic clouds. Okay, let's go ahead. Now, so I just explained you, we studied about 1, 2, 3, 4, वुमन के बारे में हमने बात की, जिसमें टेसी थॉमस थी, सौम्या सुब्रमण्यम थी, स्वामीनाथन थी 2, गगनदीप कैंग 3, एन कलाई सेल्वी 4 एंड अन्नपूर्णी सुब्रमण्यम 5. इसमें से 3 women are in the field of engineering and 2 are in the medical. So girls, don't run away from engineering up. Let's go ahead. So पहला प्रॉब्लम क्या था कि since last 20 years the percentage of women in the field of science, in the field of research is increasing day by day, but their percentage is going down in the field of doctoral level. Okay, post graduation में तो बढ़ रहा है. So why it is happening? Because women carry double burden of research and the housekeeping both. So is there any woman who is working in the field of research? Yes, we just went through the 5 names that I already told you. So does government of India is doing anything to increase the contribution or percentage of women in the field of science? The number 1, Science, Technology and Innovation Policy 2020, target of 30% women at postdoctoral level by 2030. And here is the place where the percentage of women is going down now in postdoctoral level. So they are planning to bring that percentage to 30% by 2030, which is again lesser. If the percentage of women in population is 50%, so they should be at least 40% to 50% in postdoctoral level as well. Then Gati. Now this Gati is important for your prelims 2020. 2022, sorry 2023. Gati, it is an initiative by DST. It is a grading system for institutions based on the enrollment of and impetus to the career of women in its ranks. It is based on the UK's Athena Swan Charter. So what is it? Gati is an initiative of Department of Science and Technology, and it gives different grades to institutes. लेकिन what is the criteria to give grade to institutes under Gati? कि what is the percentage of women that are enrolled in their institute. अगर number of women enrolled are less तो उस institute को low grade मिलेगा. if number of women enrolled are more तो उस institute को better grade मिलेगा. So that is Gati initiative by DST to increase the percentage of women in different institutes. Got it? Yes. Now what is Athena Swan Charter? Not at all important for us, but we will go through it. It is a framework which is used across the globe to support and transform gender equality within higher education and research. Now remember, in school and colleges, exception is engineering. In school and colleges, the percentage of women or contribution of women in the field of is हाई, मतलब परसेंटेज का कोई इशू नहीं है, बहुत सारी वुमेन है. लेकिन if you go to the higher research or if you go to the post graduation sections, so there the concentration or percentage of women is lower. So this Athena Swan Charter aims to increase the percentage of women in the field of higher education and research, and Gati also want to do same by giving different grades to institute. That's it. Got it? Clear? Let's go ahead. Now what is Kiran? Kiran वाला किरण नहीं है, ये रिसर्च वाला किरण है, वो पागलों वाला किरण है. So K for knowledge, I for involvement, R for research, A for advancement, and N for nurturing. So knowledge, involvement in research, advancement through nurturing to encourage women scientists. Kiran is an initiative to encourage women scientists. Gati is an initiative to increase the percentage of women in higher education and research field. Curie, इस नाम की एक फीमेल साइंटिस्ट भी थी, मादाम क्यूरी, जिनको 2 या 3 नोबेल प्राइज मिले हैं. पर्टिकुलरली शी वर्कड इन द फील्ड ऑफ रेडियो एक्टिविटी. सो क्यूरी for infrastructure in women's universities. There are some universities which are dedicatedly women universities. I will give you some examples जहाँ पे सिर्फ फीमेल है. ठीक है. So एक मुझे जो पता है that is from India, sorry that is from Maharashtra. Women's University in Pune, SNDT कहते हैं, श्रीमती नाथी बाई दामोदर ठाकरसी वुमेन्स यूनिवर्सिटी. ओके, SNDT, इट इज अ वुमेन्स यूनिवर्सिटी. तो ये जो अभी हम जिसकी बात कर रहे हैं ना, दिस क्यूरी इनिशिएटिव, it will help to improve the infrastructure in those universities which belong to women, for example SNDT. okay, अब यहाँ पे अगर आप देखोगे तो NAC gave some grading, यहाँ देख रहे हो आप, री-एक्रीडिटेड बाय NAC awarded A grade. आपकी जो पहले वाली गति नाम की स्कीम थी ना, which is supposed to give grades to the institutes depending upon the percentage of women in their institute, तो लाइक दिस ओनली, जैसे NAC ग्रेडिंग करता है इंस्टीट्यूट या यूनिवर्सिटीज की, उसी तरह आपका गति भी यूनिवर्सिटी या इंस्टीट्यूट का ग्रेडिंग करेगा, बट द क्राइटेरिया विल बी वुमेन पार्टिसिपेशन. अब देखो, इट वाज एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन 1916, मतलब बिफोर इंडिपेंडेंस दिस यूनिवर्सिटी वाज एस्टैब्लिश्ड, and it is a very good initiative particularly for women. Okay, let's go ahead. So about Curie, for infrastructure in women's universities, Vigyan Jyoti scheme, it encourages girls in high school to pursue STEM. Now what is STEM? S for science, T for technology, जो आपके सचिन सर कवर करते हैं, E for engineering, and M for mathematics, that is STEM. And whether a particular country will become developed or not, it depends completely on this STEM. क्योंकि स्टेम में जितना ज़्यादा काम किया जाएगा उतनी बेटर एंड बेटर टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप होगी, एंड टुडेज वर्ल्ड इज अ वर्ल्ड ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी. So it is very important for every country to invest in STEAM, and under this Vigyan Jyoti scheme we are pursuing girls to pursue STEM. Then Indo-US Fellowship for Women in STEM, मतलब science, technology, engineering, mathematics and medicine. So if women want to study or get better opportunities in USA in the field of study, then they can opt for this Indo-US Fellowship for Women. Isn't it interesting? So these are the different initiatives taken by Government of India. Now every initiative is very important for your preliminary examination. Number one, Gati, grading of institutes based on enrollment to the career of women. Then Kiran, to encourage women scientists. Curie, to improve infrastructure in women's university. Vigyan Jyoti, to encourage girls in high school to pursue STEM. And India and USA both are giving fellowship to women in the field of STEM. STEMM. Okay, let's go ahead. While policies and leadership roles are excellent incentive models, the further benefit could come from a system of mentoring and availability of funds, especially for those who want to get back into the workforce after a hiatus. It happens with women ना, जैसे शादी हो गई तो they will go away from their career for a while. जैसे pregnancy आ गई, they will go away from their career for a while. Baby हो गया, they will go away from the career for a while. और इस for a while के बाद when they get time, when they have time, now they need support, and that support can be given with the help of government policies and with the help of mentoring and funds. Okay, so this is about women in science. This was the main topic of ours today. Now we are going to discuss few small topics that are important for your prelims. For example, geothermal power. Now why this geothermal power was in news? Because ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation जो है, let's visit the official website of ONGC. What is ONGC? What ONGC does, you should know. This is important for your preliminary examination, huh? And nothing else. SNDT, ONGC, these organizations are important for your preliminary examination. तो ONGC क्या है? Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited. It is a महारत्न company. If you can see, मैं थोड़ा एनलार्ज कर देता हूँ. ये छोटी छोटी चीजें आपको प्रीलिम में हेल्प करती हैं. ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited, it is a Maharatna company and it is also enjoying or it is also celebrating the आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव. ये तो सभी कर रहे हैं. अगर आप अबाउट अस में जाओगे, ONGC at a glance, so it is mainly involved in the excavation or drilling of oil and natural gas. Okay, India's energy security through its pioneering effort. और एक इंटरेस्टिंग चीज याद रखो, ऐसा नहीं है कि ONGC works only in India. ONGC runs many projects out of India as well. Okay, so ONGC it started drilling its first well at Puga, Ladakh. So for your preliminary examination, where exactly Puga is located? Puga is located in Ladakh. This first fact you need to remember for your prelims. To generate electricity using geothermal power to reduce the dependence of Ladakh on diesel run generators. Now remember, आपको जब पेट्रोल या डीजल बनाना है ना, तो you cannot use the petrol and diesel that we use in our cities in Ladakh, because in Ladakh temperatures are extremely low. So for Ladakh जो पेट्रोल डीजल यूज करना है ना, उसमें थोड़ी दिक्कतें आती है, इंजन में दिक्कतें आती है. सो व्हाट ONGC और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज प्लानिंग, क्यों ना हम लद्दाख की जो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नीड है वो लद्दाख में ही फुलफिल करें, instead of sending crude oil or gas from the mainland India, and for that they opted for Puga. Now what exactly Puga is? See, these are different areas where you can find geothermal electricity or where you can generate geothermal electricity. Now what is geothermal electricity? If you have ever heard about volcanoes, so from volcanoes what emits or what comes out of volcanoes? So from volcanoes lava comes out, which is extremely hot. The temperature of lava can be in thousands of degrees. So if that lava is such extremely hot, तो उस लावा के कांटेक्ट में अगर कोई वाटर आ जाए तो that water will convert into vapor. And if we can uh, collect this vapor in a proper way and use this vapor to generate electricity, yes, हम पावर प्लांट में क्या करते हैं, यही तो करते हैं ना. We burn coal. The heat generated by burning of the coal, this heat is used to convert water into vapor, and then that vapor power is used, or power of vapor is used to move the turbine that will generate electricity. So यहाँ पे तो हमें रेडीमेड हॉट वाटर मिल रहा है, यहाँ पे हमें रेडीमेड वेपर मिल रही है, बस हमें क्या करना है, उस वेपर को यूज करना है टू जनरेट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. सो जियोथर्मल का मतलब ये होता है द प्लेसेस वेयर hot water or vapor is coming out of earth naturally. So you can find geothermal potential in Puga, Ladakh, Manikaran, Himachal Pradesh, Sohna in Delhi, then Cambay Basin in Gujarat, Pura nearly whole west coast of Maharashtra, including Bombay and Ratnagiri. Unai also, it is in northern Maharashtra. You can find that in Jalgaon, Tatapani in Madhya Pradesh, Bakreshwar, it is in Jharkhand, Mahanadi Basin in Odisha, Godavari Basin in Andhra Pradesh. So these are the geothermal provinces of India. So Puga is located in Ladakh, where you can find hot spring area. So Puga hot spring area, it is located at the junction of the Indian and Tibetan plates. So again, you get all these details in your geography section. हमारा अभी ऑफलाइन और ऑफलाइन बैच में ज्योग्राफी चल रहा है, इंडियन एंड तिबेटियन प्लेट. So this Puga hot spring area is located at the junction of the Indian and Tibetan plate. So here if you can see this image, this is the boundary of Indian plate and this is the Tibetan plate or Eurasian plate. So this Ladakh or Puga is located at the junction of this border. Okay, Indian and Tibetan plate के boundary पे ये located है. Clear? Tibetan plateau and Indian plate. So Puga is a hot spring area located in Ladakh at the junction of the Indian and Tibetan plates along the Indus suture zones. It has the greatest potential for the near-term development of geothermal energy in the Indian subcontinent, and that's why ONGC has started drilling at Puga, Ladakh. मैंने आपको बता दिए जियोथर्मल प्रोविंसेस ऑफ इंडिया. इट इज़ अ वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक फॉर योर प्रीलिम्स 2022. वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, extremely important. Anything they can ask. Puga is located where, Manikaran is where, Tatapani is where, Jalgaon is where, Unai is where, Kambe Basin is where, Sohana is where. You need to remember that. Very very important. Then see, potential of geothermal power in India. As per the Geological Survey of India, there are around 340 geothermal hot springs in India. For example, Chummathang in Ladakh. You already know about Puga. Now Chummathang is in Ladakh. Cambay in Gujarat. Khammam, it is in Telangana. Tatapani, it is in Chhattisgarh. Very important. This Tatapani is mentioned in your NCERT as well, Chhattisgarh, and Ratnagiri, Maharashtra. So these are the locations of 340 hot springs where we can produce geothermal power and generate electricity. Though India has been one of the earliest countries to begin geothermal projects way back in 1970, but at present there are no operational geothermal power plants in India, and if ONGC succeeds in drilling and coming up with a geothermal power plant in Puga, Ladakh, that will be the first, that will be the first geothermal power plant in India. The top 5 countries in terms of geothermal power generation are USA, Philippines, Indonesia, Mexico and New Zealand. India is nowhere. But there is a very large potential in India because India is located in a plate boundary area, particularly Himalayan region में ना geothermal power के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा scope है. Now, what you need to remember for your prelims from all these content is that number one, Puga is a hot spring area located in Ladakh. It is located at the junction of the Indian and Tibetan plate. Different locations where you can create geothermal power plant like Chumathang, Ladakh, Kambe, Gujarat, Khammam, Telangana, Tatapani, Chhattisgarh, and Ratnagiri, Maharashtra. Now, very important and very crucial. Is there any operational geothermal power plant in India? Answer is no. And you need to remember this also. Five countries, top five countries where geothermal power is used: USA, Philippines, Indonesia, Mexico, and New Zealand. If you go through the geography section, earthquake wala part na, you will understand whether it is a Philippine or Indonesia or New Zealand. In these regions, you can easily find plate boundaries, and wherever there is a plate boundary, there is a possibility of lava or hot water or water vapor coming out. Okay, so these areas have more potential for geothermal power plant. So geothermal energy is heat derived within subsurface of the earth. Recently, ONGC started drilling its first well at Puga, Ladakh. Working of the geothermal power plant. Geothermal power plants use steam to produce electricity. Every power plant uses steam to produce electricity. Only difference is which source of energy is used to convert water into steam. For example, if you burn coal and create steam from water, तो उसे हम thermal power plant कहते हैं. Coal burn, diesel करो, petrol करो, natural gas करो. So all these power plant burn fossil fuel. Same thing is done in nuclear reactor. In nuclear reactor, energy is created or generated by fission reaction, and then water is converted into steam. So geothermal power plants use steam to produce electricity. The steam comes from reservoirs of hot water found a few miles or more below the Earth's surface. The steam rotates a turbine that activates a generator which produces electricity. So it's very simple. Okay. So geothermal energy. If you see here, मैं थोड़ा इसे enlarge कर देता हूँ तो it will be visible better. यहाँ अगर आप देखोगे, steam, this is hot water. From this hot water, steam is coming out. Okay, and then this steam is used to move the turbine. Okay, and then this turbine will be used to generate electricity. हो गई electricity generation, है ना? Clear? So this is how electricity is generated by using geothermal power. Now, what is the potential? How much electricity can be generated by using geothermal power in India? So, Indian geothermal provinces have potential to produce around 10,600 megawatt of power. Matlab it is close to 10 gigawatt. 10 gigawatt electricity can be generated by using geothermal power, which is very less. So Puga in Ladakh at the junction of Indian and Tibetan plateau, this is Puga, and these are the geothermal provinces of India: 1, 2, Sikkim, 3, this is 4, and this is central Indian part, 5, this is Mahanadi, 6, and this is Godavari, 7. So these are the geothermal power plants or geothermal provinces of India or in India. Clear? So अब तक हमने क्या क्या किया? We studied about geothermal power in India. Then we studied about the woman or woman in science in India. ठीक है, तो एक बार जियोथर्मल वाला पॉइंट मैं क्विकली रिवाइज कर देता हूँ. Puga, it is a hot spring area located in Ladakh where we can create electricity by using geothermal power. These are different areas where you can create electricity by using geothermal power. Okay, potential of geothermal power: Chumathang in Ladakh, Kambe in Gujarat, Khammam in Telangana, Tatapani in Chhattisgarh, and Ratnagiri in Maharashtra. Top 5 countries in terms of geothermal power generation: USA, Philippines, Indonesia, Mexico, and New Zealand. These are the 5 countries. Then geothermal power plant uses the steam which is produced naturally by hot water under the earth to generate electricity. In India, close to 10 gigawatt of electricity can be generated by using geothermal power or by using geothermal power plants. So this is all about geothermal power plant. Then forever chemicals. A recent study published in Environment Science And technology has found that rainwater from many places across the globe is contaminated with, हे भगवान, क्या क्या है हमारे खाने में, क्या क्या है हमारे पीने में, क्या क्या है हमारे पानी में, we don't know. So across the globe, whatever water is coming from the rain या आकाश से जो भी पानी आ रहा है ना, it is contaminated with a chemical called PFA. What is the long form of PFA? Per and polyfluoroalkyl substance, which is also known as forever chemical because of their tendency to stick around in the atmosphere, in the rainwater, and in the soil for longer periods of time. Now, what is forever chemical? What is the name of forever chemical? The name of forever chemical is per and polyfluoroalkyl substance, or PFA. Why we call them forever chemical? Because they stay in the air, in the water, and in the soil for longer period of time. That's why we call them forever chemical. Very very important and very very crucial for your prelims 2023. 1,00,000% forever chemical पे आपको prelims में question आने वाला है, ठीक है? क्लियर? सो बाकी डिटेल जो है ना फॉरएवर केमिकल की, क्या करें? बाकी डिटेल बाद में करें या अभी कर ले? आई गेस कर लेते हैं बाद में. अब हमारा जो नेक्स्ट लेक्चर होगा, इन दैट वी विल डिस्कस इन डिटेल अबाउट PFAs, we will discuss in detail about Pacific bluefin tuna, we will also discuss about tomato flu, and that's it. So guys, you need to like this video, share this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, also subscribe to our Telegram channel. The link of the Telegram channel is given here. So this is IQ Civil Science Academy, a great coach transform life. Our offline as well as online courses are available. For offline courses, we are available in Guwahati. For online courses, we are available all India ही नहीं, all over the world. If you want to book your seat for in our online or offline batches, तो call on this number 7982 931 and 635. You can contact Mr. Anuj Singh, Director of IQ Civil Science Academy, Mr. Vishal Sharma, and Anuradha Saikia. So this is all about today's session, guys. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye bye. Take care. Sayonara.